Hi class! So it's me again, Engineer John Ray Pacturanan. So this time, our next topic is all about the elastic beam theory. So this is the foundation of the double integration method nga. Actually, ito yung foundation theory sa ating deflection nga. Okay, so ang gagawin ko lang naman dito is i-discuss lang naman natin siya and kung paano ba natin na-derive yung elastic beam theory. At the same time, kung ano yung limitation class ni elastic beam theory, no? So, sige. There is no actual computation here, no? So, derivation lang naman siya. However, as I said, importante talaga class na alam niyo yung mga derivation ng mga principles sa engineering, no? Hindi lang sa structural theory and even nga sa structural design, sa hydraulics, sa geotechnical engineering. So, napaka-importante nun. So, sige, simulan na natin tong discussion natin. So, elastic beam theory. So, ano bang ibig sabihin nun, class? So, when the beam is subjected to lateral loading, so, na-discuss na natin yung class sa konsepto ng beam sa chapter 4, that when we say lateral loading class, it means that the loading is perpendicular to the longitudinal axis of the beam. Okay? Also, and assume that the beam behaves elastically. So, when we say it behaves elastically, tandaan nyo yan, it means that the beam will go back to its undeformed shape after the load is removed. So, kumbaga, nilagyan mo siya ng load, normal lang naman na madedeform yung beam. Pero dapat matanggal kapag natanggal yung load, babalik siya sa dati niyang shape. So, yun yung ibig sabihin class ng elastic behavior. Kasi class minsan, kung sobrang lakas na nung nilagay mong load, so magkakaroon na ng permanent deformation yon kahit tinanggal mo yung load. So, lumampas na yun sa kanyang elastic limit. So, pumasok na siya class sa plastic limit. So, nasa material science kasi, di ba, no? Sa steel, di ba, kapag lumampas yun sa yield strength, ibig sabihin, yung behavior na ng material will behave plastically kasi nga, it disqualifies or it does not follow na the Hooke's law, 'di ba? However, for the elastic analysis, it follows the Hooke's law. So, 'yun. So, kung maalala nyo sa Hooke's law, it means that the strain is proportional to the stress and the constant is the modulus of elasticity, 'di ba? Okay. So, 'yun. So, the equation of the elastic beam theory is simply this one. So, parang ang complicated nung pangalan, no? Elastic beam theory. Pero ang pangalan lang niya pala o ang formula is 1 over rho, 'di ba, no? 1 over rho. So, hindi to letter P, rho equals M over EI. So, ano ba yung mga parameters dyan, class? Ibig sabihin, so, where rho is the radius of curvature at any point of the elastic curve. So, when we say radius of curvature, that is the radius of the tangent circle, class, in the elastic curve. So, sa calculus, di ba, na pag-uusapan natin yan, curvature of the curve, radius of the curvature, center of curvature, circle of curvature, whatsoever. So, when say radius of curvature, yun yung tangent circle. So, yung M is the internal moment at any point of the beam. So, of course, yun yung mga sinosolve natin na moment sa shear and moment diagram class. Yung E is the modulus of elasticity of the beam. So, usually, kapag steel, 200 gigapascal. Kung copper, kung di pa ako nagkakamali, 80 gigapascal. So, depende sa material kung ano yung modulus of elasticity. I is the moment of inertia of the cross section. So, usually, kapag steel, kapag mga S section or W section, given na yan. Kapag mga usual na common na figure like rectangle, BH cube over 12, ibibigay na lang yung list ng kompleto doon. Pero usually sa strength of materials yun, di ba? Kapag triangle, BH cube over 36. Kapag circle is pi over 64 d to the fourth. So those are the moment of inertias class of the common figure. Okay? So yung EI, kapag hinanap mo pala class, yung product ni E saka yung I, ang tawag pala natin doon ay flexural rigidity. So, minultiply lang naman itong isa ka I. So, ang flexural rigidity class, it determines kung gaano ba ka-rigid yung ating material. So, when we say rigidity class, that is the property of the material to resist deformation. So, kung mas malakas ang flexural rigidity class, ibig sabihin nun class, mas less yung deflection niya. Okay, no? So, explain ko yan sa further discussion natin kapag may mga sample problems na sa double integration method, no? So, ngayon, of course, the derivation class. So, the derivation of the elastic beam theory. So, consider the beam loaded as shown below. Tapos, kukuha ulit ako ng strip. Of course, may calculus tayo dito. So, we call this as dx. So, this is the, itong beam natin class, no? Sorry. So, Kunin ko lang to, no? So, of course, this is the undeformed. Tapos, yung nandito is the deformed. So, pag nilagay ko class yung shape ng deformed, ang tendency nitong strip, magiging ganito siya. Pa-triangle siya. Of course, as I said earlier, the qualitative elastic curve must be exaggerated para nga mas ma-visualize natin. So, kung ito yung strip, as undeformed, rectangle lang siya. Pero kapag na-deform siya, class, nagiging trapezoid siya. So, to further ang mangyayari kasi, since nga, hindi nga halata yung pagka-trapezoid niya kasi nga masyadong malaki yung radius of curvature niya. So, pag kinonect natin yan dito, so, ito yan, magkaka-form ng triangle. So, this time, neutral axis tayo. Ito yung radius of curvature, class. Kung ano yung magiging radius niya from the center. Okay, no? So, it forms nga a trapezoid. Again, this is the undeformed. This is the deformed. Okay? So, next tayo. Now, consider the undeformed and deformed shape of the segment with thickness dx. So, di ba nga yung undeformed strip natin ay dx nga, which is yun na nga. And yung deformed nga, as I said earlier, is trapezoid na siya. So, laki kasi ng mukha ko, no? So, lagay ko nga muna dito. So, yun kasi, meron tayong point A class. So, ito na nga, kung babalikan natin, yung previous discussion natin, ito yung point A para magkaroon tayo ng reflection dito. The center of the curvature class. Okay? So, yun. Consider the strip located at C distance from the neutral axis, no? So, of course, kapag undeformed, since rectangle din lang naman siya, class, ito ay dx, the undeformed length is, of course, dx as well. However, the neutral axis, class, of course, from the word itself, kung maalala niyo sa strength of materials, when we say neutral axis, talagang walang deformation and walang stress na nangyayari dyan. So, at the deformed stage, class, hindi mababago yung length niya. This is still dx at the neutral axis. And of course, the radius of curvature is with respect to the neutral axis. However, from C distance above the neutral axis, I am referring to this one, medyo lumiit siya. Okay, lumiit siya and naging ds na siya. So therefore, there is a deformation here. From the dx, lumiit siya, naging ds. So yun yung ibig sabihin nito. And that is because of the lateral loading, class. Okay, so wait lang Ngayon, ang mangyayari, sabi dito, from the concept of strain, class, the strain is equal to delta L over LO. Di ba nga, change in length over original length is the strain. Thus, the strain of the strip at C distance from the neutral axis is, ito siya, strain is dx over ds all over dx. So, equals, simple fraction lang to, 1 minus ds over dx. So, wait lang patunayan natin yan Kasi kung titingnan nyo, the original length is dx and the final length is ds. So, syempre, the change in length is dx minus ds. Ganun lang naman yun, di ba? So, that will be the change in length, dx minus ds. And that will be divided by the original length, that is dx. I am referring to this one. Okay? So, yun. And considering the triangle ABC and triangle ABD, class, and using ratio and proportion, bakit ang nakalagay, no? So, edit nga natin. And using ratio and proportion, ang mangyayari daw, class, ds over dx is rho minus c over rho. So, patunayan natin yan, no? So, balik tayo. So, di ba nga, this is triangle ABC and triangle ADE. So, di ba ang mangyayari, ds over dx, kasi yun yung ng neutral axis, ds over dx is equal to, for this triangle, class, yung height niya is rho minus c. Kasi nga, ito yung c natin. And yung height naman ng ng triangle from the neutral axis is rho. So, I hope nagagets yung ratio and proportion nyo. ds over dx is rho minus c over rho. So, yun lang naman yun, class, diba? Ayan lang naman siya. So, ang next step is, ayun na nga, substitute natin, class, yung equation 2 sa equation 1. So, magiging 1 minus rho minus c over rho. So, may equals to rho minus rho minus c over rho. So, therefore, rho minus rho is 0. Tama ba? So, negative of negative c, magiging positive c siya, class. Diba? So, positive siya. So, the strain is equal to C, where yung C nga is the distance from the neutral axis over rho. So from Hooke's law, remember the Hooke's law, the modulus of elasticity is stress over strain, or simply the strain is equal to the stress over the modulus of elasticity. So kapag sinubstitute natin yan dito class sa original, ang mangyayari, of course, ganito na ang itsura niyan. Okay? So lastly, para makumpleto natin class yung ating elastic beam theory, kung maalala nyo, in the strength of materials, the formula for bending stress of the beam is stress or sigma equals mc over I. So, di ba? Where c is the distance of that fiber from the neutral axis. Yung m is the acting moment. So, therefore, substituting the set equation in the equation 4, so, di ba nga, yung kanina, sa taas, stress pa siya class, pero, isubstitute nyo nga yung ating mc over I, automatic yung C class makakancel siya. So, yung I, maibababa nyo dito. So, therefore, magiging EI siya. So, ayan na. Ito yung magiging itsura class ng equation natin. So, ganito lang naman yung derivation class ng elastic beam theory. So, I hope, no, naintindihan nyo itong simpleng derivation niya. So, the elastic beam theory kasi class is very important para nga ma-establish natin yung rules for the double integration method. So, for this time, i-end ko muna itong lecture video na to para magbigay nga na nga ng way para sa next discussion natin, which is nga the double integration method. So, I hope nga no, may naintindihan kayo dito sa lecture video natin. So, yun lang class, and goodbye!